like we've already covered how cool I am, right? Nobody's in any doubt at this point, surely, of my cool credentials, are they? So cool, man. Cutting edge. I've got my finger on the pulse, always have. So obviously, when snowboarding got big in the late 90s/early 2000s, I was all over it. This is an outgrowth of the meteoric rise of skate culture we spoke about when we looked at Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Once they'd figured out how to make usable controls for a dude standing on a board, they were looking to use it everywhere. And there was certainly no shortage of snowboarding video games. Yeah, even all the way back then. Cool Borders was a very popular franchise on the original PlayStation, competing with 1080-degree snowboarding on the N64, and along the way there was steep slope sliders on the Saturn, Snowboard Kids, MTV Sports Snowboarding, Rippin' Riders Snowboarding, and then, eventually, once we reached the 6th generation, SSX. As a PS2 launch title, what set SSX apart from the rest of the pack is that, unlike a lot of them, there was no attempt to recreate real-world snowboarding. SSX set itself up as a fantasy, with death-defying stunt courses, jumps, drops and insane tricks that weren't physically possible in the real world. EA expanded on this in the follow-up SSX Tricky, with even more focus on the wildly over-the-top trick system. Now you could chain tricks together to enter Uber mode, which allowed for even more unrealistic feats of superhuman agility. Though the game was more of an expansion than a sequel, as the characters and courses were largely the same, just tweaked and polished a bit. The stage was set then for a true sequel here in 2003, as we welcomed SSX3.
I'm DJ Atomica, the eyes and ears of SSX for spectators and competitors alike. Broadcasting live from my nifty little sound booth with access to over 262 mountain cans.
The big innovation here was the attempt to make the whole game take place on one single enormous mountain, mapping multiple race, trick and freeride courses across the 3 peaks of this huge connected play space. You don't really appreciate this at first, because you'll just pop in and out of events from the menu, but it's not long before you realise they actually did make the entire mountain traversable in one go. So you can get on your board and ride to each individual event if you like, stopping at shops along the way to access things like loading and saving, stat upgrades and outfit customization. It doesn't seem like a huge deal these days now every game is open world, but remember this is only a couple of years after we had our minds blown by GTA 3. There was a unique sense of place provided by this design choice. This mountain became somewhere you wanted to spend time, because it was cool just to ride around on. You come across the start gate for an event, you can play it if you want, or you can just go around it and keep riding to the next one. This is made even more believable because they hide the loading screens between areas in things like tunnels, caves, or even snowstorms. It means you never have hard stops when moving around, only when you decide to get into an event or fast travel from a waypoint. So once you've gotten over the whole one big mountain thing, you'll want to start actually playing the game, and it's fairly straightforward. There are race events, which are self-explanatory. Then there's a number of high score events. You can take on a half pipe to max out your score within a couple of minute time limit. There are big air events that essentially task you with making one enormous jump and seeing how big a score you can get from it. And then there's slopestyle, where you ride a longer, linear stretch of the mountain to try and break the high score before you reach the end. This variety means you never feel like you hit a wall in terms of progression, because you can unlock the later peaks and courses in a number of ways. You don't need gold in everything to move forward, just being a good racer will do. Or maybe you're more suited to the half-pipe events, that's fine, you don't need to complete a single race to move on. Once you reach the end of a peak, you have to ride the entire peak from beginning to end, all the way down the mountain, through all the courses in order to unlock the next one, and this is a real treat. All the courses are wild, imaginative, filled with multiple routes, hidden shortcuts, insane jumps, grinds and drops, as well as changing geometry from collapsing ice caves to a full-on avalanche to outrun, and even destructible buildings to jump through. SSX 3 just never stops being a good time. But there's even more world-building charm here thanks to the interactions between the characters. You get messages from other boarders goading you, gloating over wins or crying over losses. If you're aggressive with them, they can become your rivals and get aggressive right back. And obviously, like everyone else, you'll want to get very aggressive with this little shit.
That was way too much fun! Yeah, this is cool!
Here's some SSX updates.
Patrick, you're sweating.
Arsehole kid sassing me fucking piece of shit. Yes, get fucked.
Click, click, boom! I'm coming down on the stereo, with me on the radio!
Can I get you anything?
So happy.
Yes, I know he's a kid, that's why he's so annoying. Duh. There's also a pretty extensive suite of character customization options so you can look the part, and an upgrade system that has you constantly wanting to earn more money so you can make your guy turn a bit quicker or be more stable in landings. It's all perfectly balanced and impossible to resist. Oh, and did I mention EA Radio Big?
You need some tunes? Yeah, me too. Here we go.
Taking a leaf out of GTA's book, SSX 3 has its own radio station, and it's a fantastic addition. Just one channel here, but DJ Atomica comments on events happening around the mountain, as well as chiming in with rumours about the riders and one of the most perfectly curated early 2000s soundtracks found in a video game.
I caught this group live a little while ago. Great show, lots of energy. They seem like a really cool bunch of guys, from about 150 rows back. Here's Finger 11.
From NERD to Royksop, this is exactly what you'd be listening to on a pro-border winter retreat. I assume, obviously, my knees would not allow such a thing.
My ankles are broke! I got broken ankles!
There's a fallacy that's grown up around the Nintendo Wii that suggests that console suddenly opened up gaming so that anyone could enjoy it, but that's not true. There were plenty of great, easily accessible experiences in gaming way before that, and this is a fantastic example. My wife, who I'm sure wouldn't mind me saying is very much not a gamer, still cites SSX 3 as her favourite game of all time. Because, like a lot of things in this era, it's best played in a group of friends, beating each other's high scores, taking turns to unlock stuff, dressing their characters up in crazy outfits, and listening to some awesome tunes. Nothing they made after this comes close, by the way. This is the definitive SSX experience, and if you can, you need to play it.